This is something that I saw today on Gama Sutra, and this is something that I'm not going to get in trouble for this, but I know people that have been involved in this. I know a lot of people in the YouTube community.
Oh, do you?
Let's Players.
Do you know a lot of people in the YouTube community?
You're in the YouTube community.
I'm not in the YouTube community.
But this goes along with any sort of journalistic ethics. We talk about how there's barely any ethics in game journalism, but there's not that many ethics when it comes to reviewing games online.
No.
There isn't. And this is why. This was a study done. It was a small sample size. I think it was like 141 YouTubers that were polled about were they paid to review or play games for developers or publishers.
Let me get this out of the way first, too, because I don't think this is a bad discussion, but I did take issue with sample size as well.
Sure.
If you also look at what they talk about, and Pat will cover this more, the users that were under 5,000 was exponentially far more of that 100 than the users that were over. It was like 60-40 or something like that. It was skewed.
It wasn't a good sample size. If you're going to do something like this, you need probably like 1,000.
Yeah.
You know, I know a little bit about statistics, and there's an expression, there's lies, there's damn lies, and there's statistics. Statistics, you can tell whatever story you basically want. But the story behind it is valid about how there are a lot of things on YouTube. Some of the YouTube networks, they are paid by publishers, be it Microsoft or smaller, maybe even indie developers, and they will pay either the content network, say like a Machinima or a Polaris, they will pay them money to say, here's money, pass this money to your guys, review and play the games for us. And you might say, well, what's wrong with that? Here's the problem. There are laws in place by organizations like the Federal Trade Commission, who are basically, for the most part, do really good work of helping consumer rights and advocacy. It's not ethical to go about and play and promote a game and review it without letting people know you're being paid to do it, because it's false. Because you don't know if they're being honest when they're reviewing it, or they are just giving it a glowing review just because, hey, I got paid monies, here's a game. It's basically you're advertising it without letting people know you're advertising. When you watch a commercial, when you see Alex Trebek try to hawk insurance, it'll say Alex Trebek paid endorser at the beginning of the commercial for whatever it is. It's up front and it's clear. It lets you know that this isn't Alex Trebek walking out of his house and randomly going, I like this life insurance. Right. Because that's disingenuous. It's false. You know, it's a protection against that, against fooling people. But the problem is that sort of protection, the FTC isn't really looking at YouTube right now for that sort of thing. They're not looking at YouTubers saying, go out and see this movie, go out and buy this shitty, downloadable game that for some reason everyone on our network's playing it this week. We don't know why. We're barely telling you why we're doing it. They're getting paid a lot of money to promote it.
Well, and the FTC has even came out and said they don't know really what to do yet with this. This is a new frontier, and they don't really know how to handle it. You've got things like reviews, okay? And then you've got things like Let's Plays, because that comes up in the article too. They're talking about two different things. They're talking about, personalities who discuss games, reviewers and Let's Players. And I do feel that it is slightly different, but I think full disclosure needs to be made for
both.
For whatever. With a review, it's absolutely more important that you were paid to make the review.
And you disclose that.
And you disclose that. You absolutely need to disclose it if you're getting paid to do a Let's Play. I feel like it's less important, though, simply because it's not what people are looking at as a review.
But it's still advertising.
But it's advertising. Right, no, and that's the difference. But it's a difference between advertising
and promotion.
Yes.
Even though in a Let's Play you can still say this game was good or this game is shit.
Right, but that's...
But you're saying it's not a professional review.
Right, exactly. This is basically an advertisement of people sitting around playing the game but not passing a final judgment, whereas someone who actually goes out and tells you to buy the game now in a one-on-one, I'm a YouTube personality review, that's where the disclosure absolutely needs to be made.
And I think one of the things was, like I said, if you ever see commercials, it's usually on the screen, paid endorser, paid sponsor, or a person is not affiliated with the company, whatever else. The problem with this is that if these YouTube channels do this, they place it at the very bottom, and you have to click more, because when you go on a YouTube video, by default, you only see like the first, whatever is 5 or 6 lines. You have to click on like show more to see the full thing. So it'll make you click on that, go all the way to the bottom to see This is part of a paid promotion by this developer paying us. But that's not good enough because no one is seeing that. It should be, in theory, like the commercial on TV, it should be on the video, front and center, first thing.
I want to say Michael McWhorter, I believe it is, who spent a month on this article, and it's a very good article. You should just go read the whole thing too. But he was asking one of the women he was speaking to, and he said, "I need to know, like, in exact terms, what needs to happen." And she said, "It needs to be absolutely unavoidable." And I have yet to see that on anything on YouTube.
Oh,
even ones that put it prominently in the info section or like down, off to the side. It has to be absolutely unavoidable. And what that means is some people click on a YouTube video from a Twitter link or from a Facebook page and they don't get to see that info. You need
or
to
it's embedded.
If you are getting paid to pump up someone's game, it needs to be fucking right there
in
at
the
the
video
beginning
itself.
of your video. I have taken money for this review.
I've been paid for playing this game.
X, Y, and Z, we have been paid to play this. Yes, exactly. Yeah. That's what you need to see on those videos.
But again, how are they going to enforce it? They're going to go after... I guess if they really want to, they can go after the bigger YouTube channels that are doing it, like, not just individual, but whole channels are getting paid to promote. I think last year it was like the Microsoft Summer of... bullshit it was.
We talked about that.
They were promoting that garbage Ninja Turtles game. So for a full week, you had all these people on YouTube, prominent YouTubers, playing this shitty fucking game all week long.
Yeah.
And I mean, people figured it out, but it was like, they're not saying front and center, we're getting paid a lot of money to play this shitty game.
I don't want to make it sound like a dick, but really the FTC should probably just make an example of a couple of the bigger names.
They will. I think they will. I think here's the thing is that YouTube is so sort of young still, but these are multi-million-dollar companies.
Yes.
And there's a lot of money getting passed around.
Oh, yeah.
There's probably just people at the FTC not getting turned on to it yet. You give it a few more years, though, they're gonna probably clamp down at least.
I think at the rate it's growing, you give them a year, and you'll see something.
It'll no longer be people showing up in YouTube videos, at a drop of a hat, promoting movies out of nowhere. Like, why is this person promoting this movie? Why is this person promoting this game? Not realizing that there's a huge, probably $250,000 campaign behind.
Well, but sometimes, really, the other thing though is, use your intelligence too. If you've been watching this person forever, you should be able to sniff out this bullshit. Whoa, this person never has ever expressed any interest in this type of game before, so why are they playing it all week, Yeah,
exactly. So
Change
there you
of
go.
heart?
So I'm sure the first 10 grand I'm offered to play Gremlins 2, I'll take it. I was gonna say Danny Sullivan's Indie Heat, but that's too easy.
I got offered $5 to play Tandy Golf the other day.
Did you really?
No, I'm just saying I should have.
Yeah, for me probably. I want Ian's.
It was from Screenwave. They sent me an email. That's right, you did Screenwave. Don't deny it. They were begging me. They had multiple. They had 5 ones.
But that's not Tandy. That's not Tandy themselves, though.
They were like, please play. Well, you're right.
We want Ian's Happy Handheld. If you want Ian's Happy Handheld reviews, you let him know on Twitter you want Ian. Hashtag Ian's Happy Handheld reviews.
You just keep yelling into that void.